Part 70, God's Plan. This research was taken out of the Great Bible Fiasco, pages 23 to 26. Isaiah 45:7. He who forms a light and creates darkness, he who makes peace and creates evil, I am Jehovah who makes all these things. Ezekiel 20:25. And I also gave them statutes that they were not good, and judgments by which they would not live. Luke 14:26. If anyone comes to me and does not hate his own father and mother and wife and children and brothers and sisters, and moreover, even his own soul life, he cannot be my disciple. Malachi 2:3. I will rebuke your seed and spread dung upon your faces, the dung of your feast, and they will take you away with it. 2 Kings 18:27. That they may eat their own dung and drink their own urine with you. The first Adam was man. Vespasian was the man. Vespasian asked his son Titus to accompany him. This made Titus the son of man. Vespasian was a man of tact, courage, and bravery. He was God. He presented a detailed account of his achievements in the Bible. Ezekiel 23:20. She lusted after their male consorts, whose sexual organs were like those of donkeys, and whose ejaculation was like those of horses. Bernice lusted after Vespasian and Titus. Numbers 31:17. Now therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman who has known a man by lying with him. Deuteronomy 20:16. You shall not allow anything that breathes to live. 1 Samuel 15:3. Go now and strike the Amalekites and utterly destroy all that they have. And do not spare them, but kill both man and woman, infant and suckling, oxen and sheep, camel and donkey. Judges 21:10. Go and strike the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead with the edge of the sword, including women and children. Numbers 31:18. But all the little ones among the women who have not known a male by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves. Judges 21:11. And this is the thing that you shall do. Every male and every woman who has lain with a male, you shall utterly destroy. God was interested in virgins only. Ezekiel 9:6. Utterly slay the old man and the young man, and the maiden, the little child, and the woman. But do not come near anyone of whom is the mark, and you shall begin at my sanctuary. Thus they began with the elders who were before the house. Numbers 31:7. And they kill every male. Psalms 137:9. Happy will be he who seizes your little ones and dashes them against the rock. Deuteronomy 20:13. You shall slay every male in it with the edge of the sword. Deuteronomy 20:14. But the women and the little ones and the beast and all that is in the city, that is, all its spoil you shall take as your plunder. And you shall enjoy the spoil of your enemies, which Jehovah your God has given to you. From the perspective of the pulpit, God was right. But from the perspective of the Jews, he was a rapist, murderer, and thief. Why do we need further explanations? Because it depends on which side of the battle line you are standing. It is no secret that pseudo-scholars have long been in support of Vespasian, whose action declared him a rapist, murderer, and thief. God, Vespasian, sent his men to Israel to kill all men, women, and children. This criminal act and the mental attitude that went with it should leave no doubt that he was a psychotic madman. From the church's point of view, he should be showered with unlimited praise for these evil acts. Bible scholars are also colluders with God's nefarious deeds, while believers have no interest in literal history. God literally murdered the Jews, and to his defenders, that is a good thing. To present such a dangerous bandit to the public as a loving God is clearly a calculated move, purposely hatched and planned by a group of debilitated and disturbed people. John 8:44. You are of your father the devil, and you want to do the desires of your father. He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, he speaks it out of his own possessions, for he is a liar and the father of it. John, who was a Jew, spoke to Domitian, describing God as a devil, murderer, and liar. This sentiment runs through the blood of most Jews today. As a result, most Jews reject the Bible as scripture and Jesus as Messiah. God's law was written in detail in the Bible. The main objective was to target the Jews as violators of God's law. The Jews had their own law, and this was presented to the Romans. In return, the Romans plotted to use Roman law to destroy Jewish law and Jewish people. Romans 2:9, tribulation and anguish upon every soul of man who commits evil, both of Jew first and of Greek. Evil was portrayed as Jewish law and Jewish people. Jews were the target of Roman aggression. Romans 2:10, but glory and honor and peace to everyone who works good, both to Jew first and to Greek. God was portrayed as Roman law. The first plan was to turn Jews into Romans. Romans 2:11, for there is no respect of persons with God. There was no respect for Jews and their God. The Jews did not worship Caesar as God. Romans 2:17, but if you bear the name of Jew and rest upon the law and boast in God. Jewish law was Judaism. Jews were proud of their law. This delight brought them into direct conflict with Roman law. The verses give an indication of Vespasian's hatred towards Jews. What then is new? God carried out a campaign to exterminate Jews, and this was recorded in great detail in the Bible. Would you like to know why God left heaven to commit such atrocities against the Jews? Deuteronomy 33:2. And he said, Jehovah came from Sinai. God came from Mount Sinai. Vespasian came from Palatine Hill in Rome. Mount Sinai was in fact Palatine Hill. God came to destroy the Jews because they rejected Roman law. Deuteronomy 28:57. The child who comes forth from her and her children, whom she will bear, for she will eat them secretly for lack of all things in the siege and distress, with which your enemy will distress you in your towns. Jeremiah 19:9. And I will make them eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters, and each one will eat his neighbor's flesh in the siege and in the distress with which their enemies and those who seek their life distress them. Leviticus 26:29. And you will eat the flesh of your sons, and the flesh of your daughters you will eat. God turned the Jews into cannibals by laying siege to Jerusalem, which resulted in a severe famine. Jews ate Jews, and these acts were proud achievements for God. 2 Kings 15:16. Because they did not open to him, he struck it, and all its pregnant women he ripped open. The verse referred to the city of Jerusalem. Jewish rebels did not surrender, and so Vespasian murdered the pregnant woman. 2 Kings 8:12. I know the evil that you will do to the children of Israel. Their strongholds you will set on fire, and their choice young men you will slay with the sword, and their little ones you will dash to pieces, and your pregnant woman you will rip open. God butchered the Jews. Hosea 13:16. Samaria will be guilty, for she rebelled against her God. They will fall by the sword, their children will be dashed in pieces, and your pregnant woman will be ripped up. This was Vespasian's order against the Jewish rebellion. Amos 1:13. I will not turn away the punishment, because they ripped open the pregnant woman of Gilead in order to enlarge their border. God's punishment of the Jews was to expand the Roman Empire. Ezekiel 21:28. A sword drawn for the slaughter, polished to consume, that it may flash like lightning. It was a planned slaughter of the Jews. Ezekiel 35:10. Because you have said, these two nations and these two countries will belong to me, and we will possess them even though Jehovah was there. God was determined to possess Israel. Zephaniah 2:9. And the residue of my nation will inherit them. The verse demonstrated God's greed, which was the inheritance of Israel by Romans. Jeremiah 49:18. And when Sodom and Gomorrah were overthrown with its neighbors, says Jehovah, no one will dwell there, nor will a son of man sojourn in her. Jeremiah 49:33. And Hazor will become a habitation of jackals, an eternal desolation. No one will dwell there, neither will a son of man sojourn in it. This showed God's determination to destroy Israel so that no Jew could live there. Amos 4:11. I have overturned cities among you, as when God overturned Sodom and Gomorrah, and you, like a brand, plucked out of the burning. Yet you have not returned to me, declares Jehovah. Israel was destroyed. The Jews never accepted God's law. Jeremiah 6:6. For thus says Jehovah of hosts, cut down her trees and build up a mound against Jerusalem. This is a city to be punished. In her midst there is only oppression. Genesis 19:25. And he overthrew these cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and what grew on the ground. Nehemiah 9:25. And they took their fortified cities and a fertile land and took possession of their houses, full of everything, good thing, hewn cisterns, vineyards, and olive groves, and fruit trees in abundance. And they ate and were satisfied and grew fat, and they delighted in your great goodness. The Romans looted all Jews' possessions. Zechariah 3:2. And Jehovah said to Satan, Jehovah rebuke you, Satan. Indeed, Jehovah who has chosen Jerusalem, rebuke you. Is this not a brand plucked from the fire? God destroyed Jerusalem, then rebuked Simon, the Jewish leader, as Satan. Zechariah 2:12. And Jehovah will inherit Judah as his portion upon the Holy Land, and he will again choose Jerusalem. 2 Chronicles 6:6. But I have chosen Jerusalem that my name might be there, and I have chosen David to be over my people Israel. Vespasian appointed Titus to rule Israel. He claimed Israel. Psalm 33:12. Blessed is the nation whose God is Jehovah, the people whom he has chosen as his own possession. God chose the Jews to concoct the religion of Catholicism. Psalm 132:13. For Jehovah has chosen Zion. He has desired it for his habitation. Vespasian chose Israel. He promoted himself as the Most High God of the Jews. Psalm 132:14. This is my resting place forever. Here will I dwell, for I have desired it. God's plan was to exterminate Jews and possess Israel. Zechariah 1:17. Cry out again, saying, Thus says Jehovah of hosts, my cities will again overflow with good, and Jehovah will again comfort Zion, and will again choose Jerusalem. Vespasian was God, and he hated Jews. He loved Jewish lambs. John 14:27. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give to you. Do not let your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. The word peace is forward and motto of Christians and Muslims. It actually meant death. The Bible was Vespasian's autobiography. The verses were of actual historical events which occurred in Israel and Rome. God murdered Jews without mercy and demanded their repentance. He was Vespasian. Oh, what a loving God. The great Bible fiasco is a test to the believer's resilience. Along with the earlier book, The Great Bible Fraud, accurate time of the events have been presented, leaving absolutely no wiggle room for resistance from believers. There's no option of or escape from the facts. Can believers return to normalcy? The challenge is on. Bible is truth. Religion is false. The challenge is to all believers to prove religion is truth.